The 4 states most watched news starts now.
The Alliance of Southwest Missouri invites you to talk about suicide. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Lisa Oligas. The Alliance is offering insight from treatment professionals, school officials, and community members with personal stories at an upcoming suicide prevention town hall meeting. KOAM's Veronica Utek has details.
What doesn't stay in the shadows starts to get exposed to the light.
Howie Nunnally hopes to bring not only the suicide issue to light, but mental health and addiction as well. He shares his story with us and will on Monday for the suicide prevention town hall meeting at Joplin High School.
My story, started at a young age, going through some abuse trauma and going through some depression and not realizing there were people out there that understood what I was going through. And so I held it all in and tried to deal with it myself. And it's a lonely road to go by yourself. And it ended up in not only addiction, but in multiple suicide attempts.
People of all ages are invited to come to the town hall meeting, which is being held because of the suicide problem in our area. And it falls during a time common for people to commit this act.
The thing to remember is we're in peak season of suicide season. I learned a couple years ago that there's a season for suicide, and coming out of winter and just no sun, and people get depressed, and so the sun starts shining and it warms up and they finally have enough energy to take their own life, and so we need to be aware of that.
She says some signs of depression and ultimately suicide are withdrawal, isolation, dropping grades, and losing interest in activities.
I just would like to invite everybody from Southwest Missouri to come and join in the conversation. And let's just not make this a one-shot event. Let's continue the conversation and create programs and initiatives that are supporting families and individuals who are struggling.
And to show four-staters they can come out of their hard times victorious, just like Howie.
I pastor a church. I do a little bit of radio and TV as well. And I have 4 beautiful children and a beautiful wife. And it's just been amazing what can happen whenever a community comes around you and you've got support from a community.
In Joplin, Veronica Utek, KOAM News.
The town hall meeting is Monday night from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Joplin High School auditorium. You can submit your questions for the panel via a link on our website. That's at KOAMTV.com. A local veteran has more security as the recipient of a new home in Neosho. Neosho Habitat for Humanity dedicated its 14th home today. Ashley and Shannon Sappington and their 3 kids will live there. Shannon was in the Marine Corps. The event featured a blessing and walkthrough of the new home at 412 Washington, built with help from 50 volunteers, including the new homeowners who get to make low, no interest payments for 20 years.
There are really good people that have had circumstances in their lives that aren't living all that well. And it takes a community to come together. We're very fortunate Neosho is a community like that is extremely generous.
Neosho Habitat has 2 new lots nearby ready for homes. Construction begins this summer. 2 Veterans Affairs construction projects in Oklahoma are over budget and years behind schedule. The VA is asking Congress for $10.8 million more to tear down part of what's already been constructed in Oklahoma City and then to rebuild it. An Inspector General's report says the hospital's roof was exposed to elements and needs to be redone. A surgical unit project was fraught with failures and shoddy work, and it and the expansion of the emergency room all suffered from lack of oversight. The final day of the 3rd District American Legion Convention began with a memorial service. Legion members, auxiliaries, Sons of American Legion, and Legion riders from 23 different posts gathered in Pittsburgh for the service. The memorial honored members who had passed away last year. The Legion commander says the memorial shows just how powerful the bond is between Legion members.
The American Legion is based on 4 pillars of Americanism, patriotism, security, and our children. The veterans are first. That is a camaraderie, and it comes from the veterans in the first place.
This was the 98th year for the annual convention. We honor Veterans Daily as our 4-state heroes. Tonight, we salute Private Joshua Tidyman from Berryville, Arkansas. He enlisted in the U.S. Army in 2005 and fought in Iraq, serving as a light wheel mechanic. For your bravery and sacrifice, we thank you, Joshua Tidyman, tonight's four-state hero. We had a taste of spring, but wet, cooler temps are back, and now there's a flood watch even in effect. What are we expecting, Nick?
More rounds of rain to come, Lisa, especially over the next few days. So we're going to have the rain gear handy as we begin the new work week and school week. We had a couple rounds of rain today, one late this morning into the afternoon, another round this evening, even some embedded thunderstorms, but nothing severe, nothing to worry about, really. We're getting this activity out of here, but we are setting ourselves up for more rain to come as we get the morning commute underway. So kids, have the rain gear handy and the jacket too. We'll start around 50 in the morning, and even though we'll have breaks in the action with rain chances on our Monday, we will have that south breeze at it to get us to 68 for afternoon highs. We'll see how much rain we could see because of those flood watches in effect, and we'll see what other rain chances are in store for us in the week ahead in just a bit, Lisa.
Thanks, Nick. The 4th annual Grand Lake Renaissance Festival came to a close today in Bonita, Oklahoma, and there was no shortage of 16th century fun. KOAM photographer Caden Milner gives us an inside look.
This is Queensferry, Scotland. We are celebrating the coronation of our Queen, Marie de Guy.
Now you can go around, you see all the shows. After the shows, then you just mingle and you see old friends, you meet new friends, and once you come in and you've got your gear on, it don't matter who you are, what walk of life you're in, because once you're here, you're one of the bunch.
I have been an actor in one form or another since I was in grade school. And this is the ultimate stage. There's no spot to go hide. There's no backstage. You step through the gates or through the back gate and you're on. And you're on until the final cannon at the end of the day.
Let's face it, classroom history books are about as interesting as watching grass grow. Here, history comes to life. They can touch it, they can hear it, they can see it and smell it. It's immersive. And I love it. To watch the kids meet their majesties and go, it's the Queen. Oh, look at her dress. And can I get my picture with you? You've made someone's day. You've become their fair memory is what we call it.
If you don't fit in anywhere else, you will fit in here. It's like a great big huge family. You might not know anyone here, but at the same time, you'll know everybody by the time you leave.
A portion of the fair's proceeds will go toward One Veteran, One Dog, Two Lives Saved. It's an organization that trains unwanted dogs into therapy dogs for veterans. That's news and weather in our first 7 minutes. Just ahead, students who led the March for Our Lives protest